It's amazing. They want to come complain late. You should.
We'll call the City Commission meeting for Thursday, September 11th to order. If you would, please stand for the invocation and the pledge. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening. We ask that you give us wisdom to make the best decisions for the city of Leesburg. In your precious name, amen.
Amen.
I
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we move into the, if we can do a motion to approve the minutes from June 23rd, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Connor? Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Chairperson Reisman?
Yes. And before we move to resolutions, Ms. Brandy has a presentation for us.
Yep, we just have one slide to kind of let you know where we're at. The draft that was presented to you did not have all the revenue in it because we didn't get the ad valorem numbers till later. So there was a $81,000 increase to the revenue that you'll see in the package that was provided to you. The only change that was made was to increase the reserve. It was at 82 in the draft, and now it's 164 in the draft that will be going into reserve for the Carver CRA. The value for the CRA did grow 12.5%, so just wanted you to know that. The other thing was the home grant is in again for this. You'll see there's the expenses, same thing as usual that we normally do. The home grant program is at $600,000, the same as it is this year. I think we did about 20 houses this year, so I'm assuming it'll be about the same. And I did want to note that the stormwater pond improvements were budgeted in stormwater and not in Carver.
Okay.
So that'll be in the, the regular operating budget, and that's $150,000 that stormwater's putting into that.
Very good.
So that's really all I have, unless there were any other questions.
Any questions for Brandy?
I'd like to, can I open up for discussion and add one more thing? Actually, I have two more things I'd like to add.
Yes, ma'am.
One was the proposal to update the Carver Heights. One I'd like to add or bring back to discussion, the proposal for the Carver Heights Montclair CRA development plan. We're working from a year of 2015, and I'd like to bring it up to date to present now with the goals and the changes with the economy as well as the district. And I would also like to include the after-school summer tutoring program, if I could. That is a request to bring enrichment and education for youth. I'm hoping to advocate of an allocation of $150,000 to that, and that's a summer tutoring program at the teen center / maybe now looking at churches because of the I guess the conversations we had with the Boys and Girls Club and their structure and what they have there. But it is important to provide some form of summer programs for the youth in the District 1 area. And also, I'd like to bring up the development plan of updating it until today's date. And when I say today's date, at least to the plans for incorporating our extension of our district has grown, the demographics have grown, as well as stakeholders have changed within the District 1.
Do we have any idea how the tutoring program would work? Any outliner of that?
Actually, I do. I presented this before, and I would incorporate teachers to work with me. Some were willing to do volunteer. We're going to concentrate on math and English as well as civics, bringing it to kids to learn about the city and the structure and how the city works as far as making decisions and running a city. I also would incorporate some summer fun of teaching dance, music, and a choir, a chorus. One of the teachers were willing to create a chorus for the area.
And would this all be run through the Boys and Girls Club?
I was hoping the Boys and Girls Club for their location, but if not, I would consider churches.
And I remember talking about this before, and I guess my only concern is, we put a lot of money in Boys and Girls Club. I just like, that just kind of tugs at me a little bit. I mean, we spent $2.5 million on Boys and Girls Club, and I guess I look at that as what they do, and I was hoping you could work together with them.
I was hoping so as well, but they don't offer any arts and enrichment. When I say that, it's the sports, but nothing going on with that room that they have, the mixing room in there for
How much money are we talking about? I don't think I heard a number.
120,000. That's what I estimated. And I also presented a layout of what I can share that later on with you, but it would be just a 3-hour, 2 to 3 hour, Monday through Friday, summer program and after school for an hour. And I had teachers willing to volunteer some, and some were willing to be orchestrating, overseeing one of the programs.
Have we talked to Boys and Girls Club about this?
I did.
Okay, and what was,
Oh, sorry.
It's been, how long ago, a year and a half now? How long ago from the Boys and Girls? The meeting we had. They were going through, they were going through some restructuring themselves, and I'm not sure what the outcome was, but
I don't want
never
to
did
just,
follow
sit here
through.
and give you rapid fire questions. The only thing that tugs at me is, there was all this support for Boys and Girls Club. We put it where the community wanted it. We spent $2.5 million, and it just troubles me to go fund something that competes against that, unless there's really good reasons. I'm just struggling with that. I'm not saying I'm a no vote. I'm just struggling with.
No, I'm
the
open
boy-
for
the whole-
discussion, yeah.
We've got so much investment in Boys and Girls Club. I just would think there's a way to work through this together and do what's best for Carver Heights.
It's not a going against, it's adding
Yeah, I didn't mean
to.
it like
That's
that.
how I look at it. And what they presently have is nothing for the kids. In fact, there's not many children that's within the district, because it's more of a force of reading,
And
of
I
work revised.
I was on the board, but I haven't kept up with it the last
Yeah,
year or
it's
two.
not, if you look at the numbers, they don't have many kids there.
Or how much are you proposing?
For the after-school program, I have 150, and for the CRA development, I have, well, I think, Al, you had stated that the average price of bringing, to update it would be what, 50, 150? 150, yeah,
250?
No, like
150.
And that's gonna come out of the CRA fund?
I'm hoping to. I would like for it.
And there's money in there for that?
If you so choose.
So 100 to 150,000 for after-school activities is what you're saying?
Oh, now, which one I thought you were asking for the plan update. Which one are you?
What you're referring to?
I'm asking for two. The after-school program I have for 150,000 to support the after-school and summer tutoring program at the Teen Center in collaboration with the Boys and Girls Club. If that does not work, which we have met before, I would want to go and utilize the churches. Churches would be offering to allow the kids to come in for 3 to 4 hours. The second one was the proposal for the Carver Heights Montclair CRA, and that would be around 150,000.
I'm not going to push back on them if they're that important to you, but I hate to clean out the reserve. I would support them both, but I'd want to pull 100,000 out of the home improvement grant. I hate to just wipe out we have 280 left, so we're going to take 270 out of 280. I just don't quite feel it. So, I'm just throwing out an idea. It's a lot of money, but, pull 100 out of the home improvement grant, it's still $500,000. And
But the home improvement grant is growing. More people are jumping in on that one, taking advantage and utilizing the program. In fact, I got an update. I think it's over half of the homes that are almost completed, and we have a list of people waiting to join. I don't want to wipe out either, so what are you asking? I mean, what are you referencing to say?
What I'm saying is we have 280 left over, and you want to spend
250.
270. I've heard different numbers, but 250.
So just for
So they
clarification,
almost
you
wipe
have
it out.
you have 163.6 of new money that's
Right.
estimated to come in for fiscal year 26, plus the 280 that hasn't been spent.
Correct.
So that's not a wipeout.
My bad. I thought the 280 was total after the 163.
You gotta get all the way to the end of
You're
26.
sitting on 280 now.
Yeah,
And then
At the end,
you've
you
got
should.
163 coming in. So if you don't do anything, it'll be 163 plus
Right.
280.
I'll withdraw that comment. I thought we were taking 250, 270 out of the 280, and that was just troubling to me.
Any other commissioner comments? Is there anything that you need us?
No, but I think if the commissioner wants to change the proposed budget, a motion is in order. And I think the commissioner's motion would be
I move-
150 grand for the new master plan study and 150 grand for the after-school tutoring program.
So the final vote for this would be on the 22nd?
Yes.
Before we make a motion, can staff get us a little more
Is
information
it
on this?
22nd?
yeah.
I could provide further detail.
Yeah, just
Would you
a
want to
little
see
more
the
detail
actual
of,
plan
like-
and stuff?
Like how the churches would handle it, what the oversight would be. There's a lot of things that I have.
Impact on Boys and Girls Club
Yeah.
and their support.
Yes, I could provide that. I did not go, yes, I could provide it. I have a detail that was presented for boys and girls. Because of the restructuring that they were doing during the time that we met, I never got a I did get a follow back through, and they were looking at utilizing the school as a Title I school and focusing on that. Since then, the numbers have been lowered since we were there visiting. And it's not that much participation in the Boys and Girls Club after-school program, and definitely not the summer. Excuse me, the summer is a little higher, but they're not kids from District 1.
Because we did a $100,000 grant last year for that, and we didn't get any takers on that, correct? From the district?
I think you did that 2 years ago.
That was 2 years.
And you removed that
Yeah.
funding. You
We did,
formally
yeah.
removed it.
We took that back, yeah.
We put it there. I mean, there must have been 300 people in the meeting from that district that wanted Boys and Girls Club there. I'm just a little taken back. I mean, it's not a criticism of you. I'm just taken back that we built a $2.5 million facility, and the community who wanted it, I'm just perplexed they're not using it or happy with it. I mean, it may not be their fault. I mean, I don't know.
I think the building is beautiful, but it's underutilized. It really is.
I'm just troubled. I'm just a little troubled by that.
Yeah, but personally, if we can have a little more information before we make a motion and a vote
I
on those
can.
things.
I can provide you more info.
And then get it with Al, and Al can disseminate to us.
Okay.
Is everyone okay with that? Okay.
I need to make the motion? Or do we just wait?
Do they need to make a motion on that if they modify it now, or can it wait until the 22nd? It can wait till the 22nd?
Do you, Al, do you still have the information, or do I need to send you updated reports?
Let's,
Send
we'll
it to-
get together,
okay.
send it to me and we'll get together offline
Okay.
after the, before the
Thank
next
you.
meeting.
Any other commissioner comments? All right, we'll move to resolutions, 3A1 and 2. If someone would introduce.
I'll introduce, has to be read by title only.
Resolution of the Carver Heights, Montclair Area Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Leesburg, Florida, approving the amended fiscal year 24-25 budget, appropriating certain funds to specific redevelopment projects, and providing an effective date.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none for the commissioners, do you have something? Any public comments? Seeing none, roll call on 3A1.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes?
Commissioner Connor?
Yes.
Commissioner Alderman?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Chairperson Reisman?
Yes. Would someone please introduce 3A2?
I'll introduce, has to be read by title only.
Thank you.
Resolution of the Carver Heights, Montclair Area Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Leesburg, Florida, approving the fiscal year 25-26 budget, appropriating certain funds to specific redevelopment projects, and providing an effective date.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any commissioner discussion? Seeing none, any public comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Commissioner Connor?
Yes.
Commissioner Alderman,
Yes.
Commissioner Connell,
Yes.
Commissioner Bury,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Barry,
Yes.
Chairperson Reesman.
Yes. All right, we'll go over roll call.
Commissioner Peterson,
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Barry,
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Connor,
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Alderman,
Night.
Commissioner Connell,
No.
Commissioner Bury,
I apologize for my tardiness, folks. My fault specifically, so, sorry.
Chairperson Reesman.
Nothing tonight. Take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Meeting adjourned. All right, 5:10. Do we need to do any changing with this? Okay, yeah. We'll call the city commission meeting to order for the 5:10 meeting. We've already done the invocation and pledge in our prior meeting. If someone would do a motion to approve the meeting from February 24th, 2025.
I move that we accept the meeting minutes from the previous.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Barry,
Yes?
Commissioner Ponder,
Yes.
Commissioner Connell,
Yes.
Commissioner Bury,
Yes.
Chairperson Reesman.
Yes. Before we move to resolutions, Ms. Brandy has a presentation for us.
All right, so where we left off with the draft, we increased the revenue 53,000 from the draft, and that was because we got the ad valorem. The increase was 9.4% in the value of this CRA for this, comparing it to last year. The only other change would be the contribution to the CDC went up because the revenue went up, so half, it's about 10,000 more that CDC got from the draft. And then the reserve went up 42,654, so that will actually, it's the 118 now. The draft book was lower. So as we talked about before, this fund has the 518, and then it would assume to put away the 118 at the end of fiscal year '26.
Thank you. Any questions for Brandy?
I have a question in general. Will this take care of the expenses of the marina? The additional expenses?
I don't
Is that
think-
included?
I don't-
No, we don't have any additional marine expenses yet.
I thought that they would be though.
Hopefully we don't, we'll keep in touch on that. And the marina stuff was coming out of American Recovery money and
So that would-
DST. So the marina is separate and apart from the CRA.
That would take care of everything? No, that's what I'm asking.
Well, I hope the allocation, I can't remember what did we have off. Was it
200
million?
and,
I think it is 2 million. I think,
Yeah.
I think we're about $1 million for the construction of the
that
building
sounds
and $1
good.
million for the docks.
Yes,
And so
that's right.
we're right on, as far as our progress of it. But again, that's a different fund.
Okay.
Not downtown
so
CRA.
if we did need additional, we would have that from that other funding, or would it come
Well,
from here?
technically, I don't think the marina is in
not
the,
in this-
in
it's
the
not in this
CRA.
True.
So kind of, I think the overall concept that we discussed was there's about $636,000 there between the 118 this year and the 518 that's in the bank.
Okay.
So whatever odd FSL grant may pop
Okay.
up, and/or if we need spillover money for parking, that's kind of,
Oh,
that's
okay.
where this would go.
So if someone does apply for the facade sign and landscape grant, we have the.
There's a couple of bucks,
Okay.
you know.
And I'm fine with this budget, but when I sit here and look at those numbers up there, this is just a side comment. I'm not sure why this CRA pays for all the special events that benefit our entire community. And I don't want to juggle that this year. I'm just saying down the road, maybe we think about that. Yeah, that's just a side note. I'm not going to, I'll support the budget.
I had a similar question because I was thinking about the home improvement grant, hoping to extend it to this side. And I know that when I asked in the prior meeting, we were talking about there was a lot of funds being used for the special events, and I'm hoping, on this side, if we can try to figure out how to include, the community on my side of town.
And if I could just jog the commission's memory on that, so when the city took over for the partnership, that we knew that we would need to provide those events that were associated with the partnership. So the concept was, do we want that to hit the general fund, or can we let it hit the increment fund? And to avoid putting that expense and continue to have the events, we chose the incremental fund. So if we want to use the increment in the future for something other than events, then we're going to have to juggle where that 400 grand for events is going to go. So immediately, you've got two choices for the event. It needs to be a general fund expense, or it needs to be an incremental expense. So you've got a big block there. If we decide we want to shift it, that's going to have to go general fund. And that's a big nut for the general fund.
I don't want to get bogged down on that. I was just throwing out an idea. Spread it around more.
That's why it's there. So that's why it's there.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
It was, we wanted to, the long story short, we wanted to keep events. We wanted to take over for the partnership. We had an expense. The best place to put it was in the incremental fund. If you shift that, it's gonna have to find a home in the general fund.
I've supported 3 years in a row. I just threw it out for future reference, future ideas.
But that's
It
why.
does benefit the
that's
entire
why it's
city,
there.
not just this
That's true.
downtown district.
Well, be careful with the way you say that, Commissioner.
But, okay. But, may I add a
Because
comment?
it's a very important expense for the district.
And
It has a
downtown.
huge district impact.
And may I also add that it's a possibility that it might not be there for the following year. CRA
Your
funding.
general revenues and your
CRA, that's what I'm saying, yes.
There's all sorts of crazy stuff that could, we pretty much know how our life is going to be until September 30th, 26, depending on what legislation gets filed.
That's so true.
To be continued.
Any other commissioner comments on this? All right. We will, thank you, Ms. Brandy. We'll move on to 3A1. Would someone please introduce that?
I'll introduce, has to be read by title only.
Thank you.
Resolution of the Greater Leesburg Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Leesburg, Florida, approving the amended fiscal year 24-25 budget, appropriating certain funds to specific redevelopment projects and providing an effective date.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any commissioner discussion? Seeing none, any public comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Ponder?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Chairperson Reisman?
Yes. Would someone please introduce 3A2?
I'll introduce, has to be read by title only.
Resolution of the Greater Leesburg Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Leesburg, Florida, approving the fiscal year 2025-26 budget, appropriating certain funds to specific redevelopment projects and providing an effective date.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any commissioner discussion? Seeing none, public comments. Seeing none, roll call.
Commissioner Ponder?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Chairperson Reisman?
Yes. Roll call. No rush.
Commissioner Peterson?
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Berry?
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Ponder?
Just wanting again to emphasize the need on, my side of town, and just wanting to ask if there's anywhere that those funds could come from. Is it possible, can CRA funds be used in an area that's not necessarily on their side? Can we pull it from anywhere else? Is there any-
General fund or the increment district. So it's
Those are your two
this seat, so on the housing part, where there's housing in the downtown CRA, which ostensibly is the east side of the CRA, the only place you can use funding for the home program is the general fund or the increment, or this district, those two spots. So if we don't take money from the increment, then we gotta take money from general fund.
And for the audience benefit, we are splitting the money. $530,000 is going to the Leesburg CDC, which is the same district.
Correct.
Yeah, and we did make that ask of the CDC to consider
Funding
that
them.
grant, and we got the answer that they would not do that, so.
Oh, yeah, right, but that was the decision that stated that they don't repair homes, they build homes, so that's,
That's what I took it,
They're saying
that they
that's
would
true.
not consider being
Yeah.
in the,
so I will wait till, no further comments, and I'll wait till the next one.
Anything else, Ms. Ponders?
I've asked, I think this is my third ask, and I'm just figuring out how to navigate to see if we can do something
Have you
more
set-
than me just asking.
Have you set up a meeting with the city manager?
I have not, but I can.
I would recommend you set up a meeting with him,
Okay,
and then that way he can maybe help you guide you through the process of how to ask and what funds and things like that.
We have had some discussions on this, and if we pull it out of the general fund, it will be for the benefit of the entire city.
Correct. It'd be the whole city if it's general fund.
thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Connell?
Nothing.
Commissioner Berry?
nothing,
Chairperson Reisman?
Nothing tonight. Take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
second.
Meeting adjourned. Any changes you need to make out there? Any changes?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Well, let me change one,
Yep,
yeah.
good. Thank you. We'll call the 5:20 City Commission meeting to order. We've done our invocation and pledge in the prior meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the September 12th, 2024 meeting?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry? Chairperson Reisman?
Yes. And before we move to resolutions, Ms. Brandy has a presentation for us.
Okay, so this is the Highway 44127 CRA from the draft. Because of the tax collector numbers, we got an additional 385,405 that was not in the draft document. This CRA increased 17.1% in value. Everything was the same. The only thing we did add is a $500,000 Habitat for Humanity for Penn Street for site development. That was added. And the facade landscape grants of $500,000. So that changed the reserve down to the 1.5 because it was like 2.2, but adding that money. So now we'll still have 1.5 going into reserve. It is important to note this, you can see the cash graph was at 4.7. We did transfer money for Susan Street, and then now we're kind of growing again, so.
Thank you, Brandy. Any questions for Brandy? Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to propose and ask again for 1.6 is unallocated. Could we take 200 of that for the homes on 27,441?
We talked about that. We talked about that in the budget process. So I think the number that the commission talked about was 50, because there's just not there's a handful of homes on the not many. There's a little segment. Maybe the district takes in 10, 15 houses north of 441 over there by
John L. Johnson.
Yeah,
North
no,
of-
on the north. You're right, on the
On
north side.
John L-
I was going to say
north of John
Holiday
L.
Marine.
Johnson. Yeah.
There's
And how far back does it go?
not very.
Okay.
What's that?
It's almost like the
there's a
railroad
street-
track that used to run through
Yeah,
there.
there's a street that kind of goes diagonal in there.
Okay, I didn't know, the last time we spoke in meeting, it was
I
to
mean-
determine how far and how
Yep.
deep it
Yeah,
was.
I think the number y'all flirted with was 50 grand.
Yeah. Not many houses, really. And the houses that are there are really newer than the houses that really need it.
I just
that
know
we
that
can't do.
there's one person that completed, and her application is still on hold, that lives right there on that street. So, and she's still waiting to hear.
So the grants are 20,000 each? Or 25,000? 25.
Yeah, it's around.
24, 25, excuse me,
yeah.
thank you.
Someone, do you want to make a motion to approve?
Well,
or
I
add?
mean, I'm thinking the unallocated, I know we have to have some in reserve for Susan Street, whatever may come. And, I mean, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but I do know that there are homes that needs attention. And if we don't give a one, that's more than none. So,
I could be wrong, but I think the commission was okay with the 50,000, but yeah.
well, I'll make a motion, I move that at this point, I'm willing for anything, so I make a motion that we allocate 50,000 to the home improvement program through the CRA, 44127 CRA for the next year.
Second.
A motion and a second, city commission discussion. Commissioner Canal?
I do have a couple things.
Yes, sir.
You know, you got 600,000 for one CRA, now you want 50,000 for another CRA. I mean, we got houses throughout the city that could use a rehab program. You know, I just don't know it's absolutely fair to put this program just in the CRAs. I understand the CRAs are paying for it, but I mean, you know, how much money are we gonna allocate to just redo houses in the CRA? I mean, and I understand the money coming out of the CRA, but still, I don't know. I just feel like it's, I don't know, targeting just certain districts of the city and leaving the rest of the city out to dry. I've known people who want to have their houses rehabbed. They're not in a CRA. They can't afford to rehab their house. So that's my 2 cents.
And Jay, I agree with you, and let me just make a comment. I'm not just, the original goal for the District 1 was rehabbing for District 1, but because the east side couldn't be funded, that's why nothing has been done over there. But in the original issues of the applications, it went across the entire District 1 without clear understanding. So now we have people thinking that they can get their house remodeled, and they can't because they weren't in the CRA block. I'm open to even allowing it within the I'm asking for the east side of town because that was part of the district and the original plan for District 1, because now it looks like only one side of the town is being rehabbed and these homes are getting fixed versus the other side isn't. I would be open to allow it on 27,441 of homes or whoever, but I can't speak on if that's not the district's plan for someone else's area. I'm not just gonna say this one area. I'm just reaching anywhere to try to get some houses done through the CRA. But I can't request the area that's near, say, Beverly Shores, and that's not my area. But I wouldn't mind, the goal is for District 1, but if it's a house that's not in District 1 and they fit that and they put in the application, can we not say no to them? That would be unfair.
I think when we're dealing with the CRA budgets, the money just has to be spent
In a blighted
in
area.
that geographic area of the
I
CRA.
understand.
So, as long as it falls within the geographic area. So if you want us to fund the 44127, that's not just the John L. Johnson
Exactly.
piece up there. That's going to be any homes
That would be
flow.
Susan Street and
I'm
over in that
not
area
sure
too.
how deep if it goes all the way into Susan Street.
Goes to about Penn Street.
Penn, I
Yeah,
thought.
well, there's homes there. That would be there too.
Well, Penn is kind of the habitat where the new, I'm not sure how deep it goes.
That's it. It stops
Really?
Oh, it stops right there? It doesn't go any further? Okay, I don't know. Well, I'm just trying to consider an opportunity for the east side, with which we've been asking. But by no means I would love to see this go all throughout Leesburg. So it's definitely a benefit, but I know we have to stay within the CRA blocks.
Is that something you would like to see, Commissioner Canal?
Throughout the city?
Yeah.
I'd like to see what the estimated cost would be. I don't know, what are we talking about, how much you're talking about budgeting out of that?
Just curious. Okay.
I just think if you're gonna have a housing program, it should be citywide, really.
I don't disagree.
I agree with you.
It's just the funding.
It's just what was available within the
I
block.
would wanna know how much money the commission is thinking about putting towards that, before I would wanna make a decision, but like I said, I understand, like I said, the funding and the CRA is coming out of that CRA. I get that, but it just seems like I have people call me, say, you know, I'm hearing the city has a rehab program, and I'm like, unfortunately, you don't fall within that, so I can't, you can't qualify.
I
It
get the
seems like
same
it's
calls.
People don't understand that it's unfair to them, and their thinking.
Understood.
I agree.
Maybe it's something, have a discussion behind the scenes and go from there.
Sure.
All right. Where were we at? Presentation. Thank you, Ms. Brandy.
Oh, so there's a
Oh, you had a
motion on the
motion for
floor.
50,000. So we have a motion and a second. Sorry, that was a long discussion. Any further discussion on that? Any public comments? Seeing none, roll call on the 50,000 for the home grant.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Chairperson Reisman?
Yes. Would someone please introduce 3A1?
I'll introduce, has to be read by title only.
Thank you.
Resolution of the U.S. Highway 441-27 Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Leesburg, Florida, approving the amended fiscal year 24-25 budget, appropriating certain funds to specific redevelopment projects and providing an effective date.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, any public comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Chairperson Reisman?
Yes. Would someone please introduce 3A2?
I'll introduce, has to be read by title only.
Thank you.
Resolution of the U.S. Highway 441-27 Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Leesburg, Florida, approving the fiscal year 25-26 budget, appropriating certain funds to specific redevelopment projects and providing an effective date.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, any public comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Chairperson Reisman?
Yes. Roll call.
Commissioner Connell?
Nothing.
Commissioner Berry?
Nothing.
Commissioner Peterson?
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Berry?
Nothing tonight.
Chairperson Reisman?
Nothing tonight. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Meeting adjourned. All right, let me go to my notes. We'll call the City Commission meeting to order. The tentatively adopting the proposed millage and proposed budget on Thursday, September 11th at 5:30 PM. We've already done the invocation and the pledge. We'll move to public comments. This section is reserved for members of the public to bring up matters of concern or opportunities for praise. Please note that issues raised during this time will not be discussed in detail during the current meeting. They will either be referred to the appropriate staff or scheduled for consideration at a future City Commission meeting. Each speaker is allocated 3 minutes to provide their comments. Kindly adhere to this time limit to ensure equal opportunity for all participants and to support the efficient conduct of the meeting. Thank you. Are there any public comments this evening? Seeing none, we'll close public comments. We'll move to public hearings and non-routine items. During public hearings and non-routine items, the commission requests that those in attendance respect the process and maintain order, as such in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order. Please refrain from speaking out, cheering, or applauding during these proceedings. Your cooperation helps ensure a fair and respectful hearing. And before we move on to the rest, Ms. Brandy has a presentation.
Yeah, just wanted to hit what we had in this budget. Nothing changed as far as personnel. There are 9 new positions in the budget, but I will bring to your attention that 4 of them were the meter reading division that was brought in 25. So you're down to 5, and then 3 of those are in the gas department. So just wanted you to be aware those are the new positions that we have for 26.
Thank you, Brandy.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Cindy.
Brandy, there's a couple of changes. Remember, when we left last, we've done a couple of things throughout the course of the last couple of meetings where we've added stuff and improved stuff. So, a lot of these, the big debate was kind of the rollback number versus the existing millage rate, and that brought in roughly about $400,000. So I wanted, this portion of Brandy's presentation is pretty much a repeat of what we did. The 5% increases for personnel, the changes to the PBA and IFF CBA, the 3% match that we're adding for the 457 retirement program. That's that slide. Hit the next
Okay.
one.
And then,
Fire assessment fee, the health insurance contribution, the education program, all those things stay the same. So this slide in particular, this is kind of the one you want to look at a little bit, because, if you want funding for the home grant throughout the community, this 400 grand is where you would look for it, okay? Or go to cash. Brandy, what's our cash number in the general?
there's around 11 million. Yeah.
Yeah. So you
There's
can throw
plenty of money to
cash
go
at
for.
that option if you would want as well. So, for the purposes of where we went based on discussion, here's our recommendations from staff where you are to shift the civic funding, as you know it. We shift that from solid waste to make this a general fund liability versus an enterprise liability, because we needed to increase the solid waste rates this year. We didn't think it was justifiable to increase the rates while we were skimming money off that to do general fund things. So with the room in the general fund, we slid that over. Specifically too, towards the civic funding, we increased that by 50 grand. We'll show you another slide on that. So just to bring that and highlight that to your attention, the 50 grand increase on the civic funding takes over for the chamber. So basically what we did with the chamber funding was, because we ultimately decided a couple meetings ago that we thought we needed to go it alone and we could do an outside source, because we had all those discussions about alcohol sales at Bike Fest, we really still do have a liability of keeping the chamber whole. So our suggestion is to put that into civic funding. Now, even having said that, there's options to fund the chamber later. I think what you need to do for the start of the fiscal year is determine how much you want to fund the chamber by. We use the number 50 grand because that's ultimately what we paid. That's where we were from Bike Fest. My suggestion for you is to keep the number at the 50 grand so that when we go into October 1, they know what their operating budget is. We have the option later on to shift the wires. And the shift the wires would be, if we do good at Bike Fest, we could probably grab some Bike Fest monies to fund that and then put those monies back in the general fund. So chamber, there's two options for funding in the future. But moving into the fiscal year, they need their number set. So this is how we're doing. And then your cemetery number. Go back to that other slide. The other is the beautification committee. The mayor petitioned y'all during some the budget hearings to carve up some money for beautification in and around the city. And then there was 40 grand left, and that would be a general maintenance number for public works and recreation, because typically when we're at the end of the day, when we're balancing the budget, we go to the public works and the recreation operation numbers, and we just start cutting them. So I can't tell you specifically what the 40 grand is going to be, but basically it's operations. So, it could be Travis has something blow up and he needs a new mower. Cliff has plants that die because it got too cold in the winter. So those are just, and 40 grand's not a whole lot for that. So those really, in the $40 million budget, that's, you got a $392,000 of flexibility.
We did have quite a bit of discussion regarding the cemetery during the budget sessions, and I see we're going with 160.
Yep.
161.
Let me touch on that with you publicly.
Yes, please.
I have reached out to the cemetery, and at this time, the cemetery said they're good. So they intend on keeping their 161, and they have told me informally through verbal conversation that they're good at 161. And maybe they were premature in asking us for money back in the summertime. So with that information, I would recommend that you keep it at the 161, 760 and get on down the road.
Okay. I have one question when it comes to the Booster Club. I was asked if the commission would be open to splitting that half and half, 2,500 to the sports and 2,500 to the band. if you guys would be open to that, since they come and do all of our parades and things like that. I know the Booster Club funded the band out of that last year, but just so it makes it a little black and white on our end, if you guys would be open to funding half and half out of that. Okay. That would be my only thing.
Which CDC is this?
This is general fund.
That's been a distinction and that
Oh,
kind of stuff.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, on that, with the splitting of the band, I mean, the Booster Club, I'm assuming, supports all of the high school's sportings.
Just the sports, not the
Just the
band.
sports, okay, so you got probably 8 different sports versus one band, and we're gonna split it
Well, you got
50/50?
500 kids in the band, 500 kids in the,
You got 500 kids in the
There's like
band.
250, 300 kids
How
in
big
the
a
band.
band do they have?
It's a big band.
Well, the whole senior class is in the band?
You have-
I mean,
you have
500 people in
You
a
have
high
9th,
school
10th,
band?
11th, and 12th in there.
I can't believe there's 500 people in
There's probably
the
not.
band.
It's probably not that many, but there's.
But so you,
If you go to their football games, you can see them filling up the
so you've
stadium.
got like, I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark, about 8 different sports, and you got one band, and you wanna split it 50/50. It doesn't seem right to me.
I'm open to ideas.
Well, then put the band in, if you got 8 sports and one band, then just simple math, I mean, the band would get that percentage, 1/9 of the money you're contributing to them.
Well, I don't think the Booster Club divides the $5,000 evenly up between each.
Well, they may not, but I mean, they're still supporting, say, I'm guessing 8 different sports without sitting here adding them up, but I just don't know it's fair to say 50/50.
I would support additional 2,500 to the band
On top of the 5.
on top of the 5.
Can you make that happen?
I got a question. Does the band still
Thank you,
travel
Al.
to go to state and everything? Yeah, okay,
They
yeah.
come to all of our parades, they're at all of our events.
The original funding for the band came about long
Because
ago.
a New
when
York
they were
trip.
going to Washington
Or-
to
yeah.
march in whatever big parade there was.
And-
And we started funding it, and then we just kept on funding it. And I think towards the end, they changed band directors and didn't even know we were funding it.
Yeah.
So we stopped funding it, and now
Okay.
somebody's asking.
Do you need a motion on that, Al?
I think
Yes.
so, yeah.
Motion to increase the civic funding by $2,500 to the Leesburg High School band, marching band.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any public comments? Roll call?
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Mayor Reese?
Yes. All right, we will move to Miss Brandy for the announcing.
Alrighty,
3A.
let's get there. Okay. Name of taxing authority, the city of Leesburg, Florida. The current year rolled back rate is 3.3131. The proposed millage rate of 3.4752 is 4.89% higher than the current year rollback rate. The millage rate to be levied is 3.4752 mils per 1,000. On July 14th, the commission approved the tentative millage rate of 3.4752 mils per 1,000. This is the same rate as the prior fiscal year, whereas the proposed budget was developed using 3.4752 mils per 1,000. Therefore, the tentative millage rate of 3.4752 mils per 1,000 represents a 4.89% increase from the current year rollback rate, which is attributable to additional expenses and is a tax increase under trim guidelines.
Thank you, Brandy. Requesting comments from the public regarding the adoption of the tentative millage rate.
I have one question. Can we go to that slide, please? And
Which one do you want to go
the,
to?
what you just read, the millage rate. I think it was the first one.
Oh, you want to see where I
Yeah.
had it
I
typed?
just-
Here?
Yeah, thank you.
So, yeah.
Are we in public comment or are we in commission comment?
Let me see.
It says go to public comment first. Any public comment? Yes, sir. Please state your name and address for the record. And if you have any public comments, you have 3 minutes. Thank you, sir.
Robert Bolick, 1206 South 8th Street, Leesburg, Florida. Currently, I'm part owner of 3 properties, 48,470 square feet of of retail warehouse space in the city of Leesburg. Our current tax proposed bill is $41,963.86. I am not a proponent of the current rate. I want the rollback rate for what we're doing. We're paying far too much taxes now on what we're doing. The inflation for everything we're buying and all these costs get passed along to our tenants. So it's critical that we use the rollback rate, not the rate. I would love to see that 4.89% back in our budget. We developed the budget on it. We need to keep that number. Stay with the rollback rate, please.
Thank you, Mr. Bullock. Any other public comments? Seeing none, we'll close public comments. Commissioner comments?
I do. I actually absolutely agree with him that I think we should go with the rollback rate. Taxes are getting out of control. We should do the rollback rate, let our citizens keep more money in their own pocket. We can figure it out on our end. Maybe we don't have as much money to waste on nonsense stuff sometimes. So I would like to make a motion that we go with the rollback rate.
So we have a motion for the rollback rate. Is there a second? If there is not a second, the motion fails. Any other commissioner discussion?
I want to comment for the audience or public that the millage rate we're approving, if you take Montverde out of the equation, we have the lowest millage rate in Lake County, including county and all municipalities.
Any other commissioner comments?
The only thing I would say is that may be true, Mike, and it is, but the cities, we shouldn't base ourselves off the other cities. I mean, I just think in general, the cities are collecting way too much money in property taxes anymore. I mean, property values continue to go up and cities do not lower their millage rate. They continue to either leave it, which is a tax increase, as this year almost 5%, or they even raise it. I don't know, we set our standard based on what everybody else is doing. I would really like to see us do the rollback rate. I know the motion failed, but that's my stance. I just don't think we should continue to tax our citizens for additional money. We should let them start keeping a little bit more of their money.
I want to make a comment. I asked, just when we had this discussion before, we were low, we were at a rate that was pretty decent, if I do recall.
Well, it is across the board if you look at the whole county, but I don't know that we need to base ourselves what other cities are doing. I mean, you know.
But I thought that was just a benchmark to see where we were. I don't think that was the determining factor that how
Well,
we
it was a
came up with that
benchmark
number.
to see, I agree, but just because somebody else is charging 6% doesn't mean, or 6 mils, whatever, it doesn't mean that's what we need to do. I mean, we need to do what's best for our city, and
Okay.
like I said, I know it didn't pass, or it didn't get a motion to second, but I really think we could roll the rate back, let our citizens keep more of their money, and we would still be perfectly fine financially.
Any other commissioner?
My only comment is, as the population grows, we add new policemen, we add new cars, we add, our expenses do increase, but we're keeping the rate at which we're billing the same.
Well,
So
it is increased, I mean, the expenses increased, and I agree, Jimmy, but so is the amount of taxes you bring in with the amount of property that the city continues to annex in. I mean, so, you say, I mean, you know where I stand with all this annexation and everything, but if we have to keep increasing the property taxes on our existing citizens to offset the cost of growth, and growth's not paying for itself. The existing citizens are paying for this growth. I mean, and that's the problem. The growth should pay for itself for more policemen, more firemen, and it's not. That's why we're not having, that's why, I guess, what I'm hearing is why we're not lowering the property taxes, because we have to pay for these additional services for all these people coming in. Well, these new people should be paying for themselves. Growth is not paying for itself. We're charging the existing citizens to offset the cost of growth. And that's a problem too. So either if you're going to continue to annex all this property in, then they need to start paying their fair share, not put the burden on the existing taxpayers to offset the cost to pay for this growth by not lowering their property taxes.
I'm not sure that's an honest, fair statement. I'm not going to sit here and argue it, but you're going to just get our community stirred up over what I don't deem to be a completely accurate statement.
Well, you're raising the taxes by 5%, Mike.
And I don't take that lightly. I respect your comments. What I would say on the record is all our enterprise funds, all our utilities, city-run utilities are in the top quartile. That would be the good quartile for the lowest quartile. So we have the lowest rates in the county. We have the lowest millage rate, and I'm happy about the progress our city is making, the beautification efforts, all the things we're doing. So I think the fact we're able to do that and have the lowest utility rates and the lowest tax rate is a compliment to the city. I don't take it lightly, increase in taxes, but our city is going in the right direction. I think we're spending our money wisely. And I like the direction of our city. We're going to disagree on that. I'm sorry.
Yes, we will.
I just remember, and Al, I'm going to ask you to just refresh. When we presented, it was all in line with all that what we were expanding, as far as from the growth of the city, true. I don't want to say we're intentionally increasing taxes to be compared to someone else, but in our presentation, it all made sense. And I just, maybe can you just give us a high end, I know.
So your question puts me in the spot. You
Oh.
know, rather have the fathers argue amongst themselves
No.
without the manager
Okay,
intervening.
not
But
trying to do that
but with
at
that
all.
said, let me just at least from the manager's perspective,
Yes.
what I think are reasonable and not so reasonable comments. Commissioner Cannell said we have plenty of funds to operate at a rollback rate. I would agree with that. I think you could probably keep your rate at 3.3, operate fine, and that's how the budget for 26 was presented to you. It was during the budget workshops where the supermajority of the commission said, what would it look like if we just kept it? Because the step from 3.4 to the 3.3 financially was not very significant, was $392,000 as you see. And I would say for the record, that's a 3% increase, not a 5% increase, okay? Because that's, you know, for a business, like Mr. Bullock just said, that may be a little bit different because they don't have the homestead cap on there. So everybody's a little bit different, but I think from a homestead perspective, it's a 3% increase if you're homesteaded. On the comment about growth, I think anybody can argue that. As your manager, I would not say that growth is causing the consideration of keeping the current rollback rate. In fact, I would argue the opposite. The biggest increase in our ad valorem revenue has come from the villages development, not all the PUDs. And that is the number one reason why we're the fastest growing community last year. Not every little PUD that you look at, specifically villages, I would point to that, and I think every fact and statistic will support that. As far as why you all, in my opinion, considered a rate increase, it was to fight inflation. You know, and as we go moving forward, you know, just like every business out there is paying more for gas, paying more for electricity, paying more for these things, so is the general fund. My reflection of your discussions from the summer would be, look, if we continue to stay with the current rate, the city gets behind. We're paying our people more, we're paying more in utility bills, we're paying more to buy fertilizer. So all the things, and I don't mean to, all the things that business is struggling with, we're struggling with too.
Yeah, and the big one was police and fire, and that's important, and yeah, that's become very competitive.
You know, the number one expense in our general fund is police and fire. That's not a pinpoint at police and fire. They're the number one thing that we do. And they're an expensive service. You know, the guys and ladies who work in our public safety, you know, they do mission critical things. They're highly sought after positions. We have to remunerate those correctly. And we have seen the continued decline in the police department in terms of numbers because we haven't kept pace with what that is. So I think those are the factual issues that I would put out there, and it's for your all's collective wisdom to have that discussion, and that's why I kept quiet until Commissioner Berry asked me to provide insight.
I'm sorry not to put you on the spot, but that you answered my question with the first line, jogging my memory. That's what I needed to know.
My recollection was correct.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other commissioner comments? Would someone please introduce 3A4 to be read by title?
I'll introduce and ask to be read by title only.
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, tentatively adopting 3.4752 mills as the fiscal year 25-26 millage rate for the City of Leesburg, Florida, representing the current year proposed aggregate millage rate of 3.4752, which is 4.89% more than the current year rollback rate, and providing an effective date.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I will ask the comments from the public regarding the tentative 2025-2026 budget.
I think, do we have to do a roll call? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, roll,
Yep.
sorry, we have
That's
to
okay.
vote, sorry.
Just want to make sure.
Roll, no discussion, roll call, sorry.
Commissioner Connell?
No.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Mayor Reesman?
Yes. Request comments from the public regarding the adoption of the tentative 2025-2026 budget. Any public comments? Seeing none, would someone please introduce 3A6?
I'll introduce, ask to be read by title only.
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, tentatively adopting the fiscal year 25-26 budget for the City of Leesburg, Florida, and providing an effective date.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
No, not using that tax rate.
Mayor Reesman?
Yes. Ms. Brandy?
Yes. The tentatively adopted millage rate to be levied is 3.4752 mils per 1,000. The date to finally adopt the millage rate in the fiscal year 2025-26 budget is scheduled for Monday, September 22nd, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. in the City Commission chambers at City Hall.
Thank you, Brandy. Would someone please introduce 3B?
I'll introduce and ask to be read by title only.
Thank you.
Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Leesburg, Florida, relating to the provision of fire protection services, facilities, and programs in the City of Leesburg, Florida, imposing fire protection assessment against assessed property located within the city for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2025, approving the rate of assessment, approving the assessment roll, and providing an effective date.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, this is going, my understanding is it's going to increase residential by, which, was it $5?
It's going from 165 to 170.
But how's it affect commercial overall?
It's
What's the percentage increase?
3%.
3% on commercial? Any idea what that comes out to, Brandy?
The rate is cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
How that compounds.
I could bring it to you.
I would take your,
Yeah.
since it's all prorated, equals whatever you're
Yeah.
If you're a commercial entity and you paid $300 on square foot on the dollar and your bill was $300, you can count on a 3% increase on that 300. Because everything is a fair
Right.
ratio, 3%.
Any further commission discussion? Any public comments? Mr. Burt?
Regarding Robert Bullock, 1206 South 8th Street, Leesburg. Regarding the fire rescue industrial warehouse tax, again, back to the 48,470 square feet, this amounts to $1,942.40, which doesn't sound like a lot of money, but again, it continues to add up. The inflation that we're experiencing. Lake Glass and Mirror is my business. We occupy 24,400 square feet of those 48,000 square feet. So we're just going to have to absorb that and or pass it along to our customers. And our tenants then will have to do the same thing. So again, we're talking about increasing taxes. We're not going to agree on the rollback millage rate. Now we're going to add another fee for the fire. It really concerns me. What was it, less than 2 weeks ago, we gave away city property that was of real value that we could have sold potentially and used to offset these expenses for the fire department. So I think it's foolish of us to continue to add taxes to the public burden and then spread it around here and there when the city has ample land, clearly, that they can either give away or sell to offset these expenses to the community. So I'll end it with that. Please vote no on the fire rescue industrial warehouse tax.
Any other, we'll close public comments. Any further commission discussion? Seeing none, roll call on 3B.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes. Yes.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes?
Commissioner Connell?
No.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Mayor Eastman?
Yes. We'll move on to roll call.
Commissioner Berry?
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Commissioner Connell?
A couple things. I had to step out early last Monday, so I apologize for that, but I was able to catch up and watch the end of the meeting. It was brought up under roll call Monday night about doing away with our P&Z board. I absolutely disagree with that. I agree with you, Commissioner Berry, that it's important to have a planning and zoning board that is made up of our citizens that can give us recommendations. I think it'd be terrible to turn this over to some special magistrate, as it was brought up, I think Monday night also with the broker realtor. I mean, we didn't want to hire a local realtor, or we didn't want to hire a realtor that wasn't local broker, but we're going to maybe hire a special magistrate that's not local, that doesn't know the area, as it was told to me Monday night on real estate deals. I think this is a terrible idea. I do not hope it passes when I'm assuming Al's putting an ordinance together to change this.
Yeah, we're gonna bring you a presentation.
Presentation.
But I would hope the commission would really consider, the planning and zoning board is extremely important. Unfortunately, this board doesn't generally listen to the recommendation, which just is discouraging, but I don't think this is a good idea at all. My second question is, there was an article that came out today in the Daily Commercial, and I just wanted clarification. I don't know the accuracy of the article. The Daily Commercial article said that we, the city of Leesburg, are going to pay for the demolition of the shuffleboard courts?
Yeah, that was incorrect.
Okay, I just want a clarification of that.
That would be like one example of about 12 inaccurate statements in this community. That's not directed at you. That's directed at this
Well,
community
listen,
who's
that's
just
what-
spewing false information on that one. I'm sorry. I'm fired up about it.
Okay, I wanted clarification of it. I read the article
That was
this
not, my
morning.
anger's not directed at you.
Okay. That's the only two things I had tonight.
Commissioner Phil.
Commissioner Berry?
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Peterson? Sorry.
Nothing tonight.
Mayor-
Nothing tonight.
Mayor Eastman?
Nothing this evening. Take a motion to adjourn. Oh, wait.
Could I maybe, sorry, jump in and add a couple of comments?
I want to hit something on the budget before you go ahead.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I just wanted to make a couple of comments on two existing claims that have been brought against the city and kind of get some direction from the commission as far as what you guys want to do. So we have the Venice at Lake Harris, which we kind of talked about a little bit on Monday night, which was a request for relief in response to the city denying a request or an application for annexation of the property, the Corley Island around that area. The other case, as you guys were just talking about, the Shuffleboard Club has filed a lawsuit against the city. We've not been served yet, but we did pull a copy of that lawsuit off. So we have these two claims. The city does have insurance coverage that would potentially provide for an attorney to represent the city and pay for the cost of that representation. So it would be, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't tell you guys that there might be an avenue to save some money in terms of paying your deductible and getting coverage for that. I think that there's a couple of ways to look at it. I'm not offended whichever way you guys want to go. I certainly understand saving money. It makes sense for everybody. But there may be an opportunity, I guess, to sort of take a hybrid approach perhaps where we're not on the insurance company defense list. So if we do file the insurance claim, it would not be our firm handling it. The insurance company might be on board with the concept of letting us perhaps start and seeing how things go. And for example, if we look at the special magistrate process, there's a mediation that occurs. There's a hearing after that. So one way to look at that might be, if you guys feel comfortable with us, you would rather have us, we could perhaps handle the mediation side of it. If we're not able to resolve anything there, then perhaps bring in, file the claim, or just not file the claim, whatever you guys feel comfortable with. The shuffleboard lawsuit, I think we have, I don't want to get too deep into strategic discussion here on that, but I think we've got some opportunities to maybe try to get rid of that, or at least test that claim pretty early on. And I don't think it would be too costly to at least make some initial stabs at that, and kind of see where things go. Again, insurance company might be on board with this sort of hybrid approach of let Grant and Stone and Gherkin start. If it starts getting a little heavier on the expense side than what we're looking at or what we're thinking, if we're going a little bit deeper into litigation, the expenses start getting a little higher, then maybe shift over to insurance. But that's really kind of what I had, is kind of summarizing again. I think that under the insurance policies that the city has, there's probably an ability to file a claim for the request for relief on the Venice at Lake Harris and for the shuffleboard case. If you guys want to do that and go ahead and do that now and get insurance involved, then let us know and we'll go that direction. If you want to just have Stone and Gherkin handle it, we can do that. Let us know. Or if you want to maybe sort of take that hybrid approach where we perhaps start out with me, see how things go, and if the expenses start getting heavy, then perhaps shift over to the insurance attorneys. But I think those are sort of three options at how you want to look at this, and just, like I said, want direction on what you guys want to do.
And so on the insurance direction, what you're saying is you would not be on, we would then be moving to a different attorney.
Yes, sir, that's right. Whoever's on the insurance list. Now, we would potentially have a couple of attorneys that we're familiar with, and maybe some people that have represented the city before. So it may not be a complete stranger, somebody we don't know, but we're not on the insurance company list, I know.
Any recommendation?
What is your yeah, I was going to ask you what's your recommendation? Yeah, I know it's unfair. And I have some thoughts.
Do you want me to give you the recommendation? Because
that might be more fair. That might be more fair.
I completely agree with Grant. And I don't want to talk too much about the cases, but I am going to say this about the cases. The one case with the Venice seeking relief, that's a very interesting case because it really attacks the core legal principle that Grant advised his counsel on, which is annexation is a legislative prerogative. And so we're getting attacked on that. So we've heard all, and this is why I think it's important for me to say a little bit in this frame about this, because we hear all throughout the county, all cities have to do is say no. Just say no to annexation, say no to annexation. Well, you guys did that.
That's correct.
And you're getting sued for that. And so that's what I wanted to say publicly. So I think that comment needs to get out there in the world, in the county. You guys said no under your legislative prerogative, and you got sued. The other case, I'm just going to say, is an interesting interpretation of our charter. So with those two things being said, the last time we were sued, we did have to go to special counsel on the Sunnyside issue, and I think we went for good reason. But at least in this initial start with these two cases that Grant brought to our attention, I really think the right place to start this is with our home counsel and let Stone and Gherkin do that. We have had initial conversation with Brown & Brown about the hybrid approach. They seem okay with it, so I would encourage the commission to take Grant's recommendation and start it with the hybrid approach.
And the hybrid approach being that they will fund, they will agree to fund Grant like to a small amount?
Yeah, we would need to pay Grant.
Oh, we would have to pay
We would
them.
need to pay Stone and Gherkin as we pay Stone and Gherkin. They take care of us. They do well. I think we need to start our interests, our best watched after with Stone and Gherkin at this time. And I think if you're reading between the lines, you hear what we're saying about these suits. And so Stone and Gherkin to start out is best. If we see this getting more intricate, then we need to come back to you and say, maybe we need outside counsel.
Are we talking about a number? Like, what does intricate means how many
I was
dollars?
gonna say, her
You know,
time.
I think it's something we can kind of keep everyone apprised of as we go along. You know, things develop in different stages. Again, we may take an initial shot at one and get rid of it. We may take an initial shot and end up having to take the same shot a couple of times and then sort of see where we go from there. But I think that, we can certainly keep everybody updated as far as the depth of litigation and how heavy it's getting, and then kind of evaluate, as we're going along, if we want to shift gears, I guess, at that point.
And another reason too, especially with the Venice issue, I think you're going to see that particular case start popping up a lot, where developers are going to start pushing the edge of how they interpret how governing bodies, how political subdivisions and municipal corporations act. So that's a one to keep your eye on.
I want to be very careful what I say here. Grant, obviously, I'm very happy with you as our attorney. I'm not very happy with the Shelf Board people right now. They have, let me be sure the audience is clear, because once again, false information going everywhere. 73 members, of which 7, maybe 5 to 7 live in our city. They came before us. They came before us 5 times. Residents think, we had a meeting in the shade or something and approved this in one meeting, but they came before us 5 times. I'd like to let the insurance fund it and turn them loose, let them have their fun. I mean, they picked a fight with us, and they're wrong. And I'm not even a lawyer. I read the lawsuit. I think it's a joke. I'd let the insurance company have fun. I mean, the Shelf Board people have just, I think they've handled it wrong.
Well, and as far as their lawsuit, I'm not going to weigh in on that, but I don't think they're wrong from the standpoint that they're upset that this commission sold the property they've been utilizing for over 50 years. They do bring tournaments. In fact, they got 3 tournaments scheduled before the closing date coming up of November or whatever it was posted at.
And we're being nice and giving them time to host, I believe, their first tournament.
Nice? Really? Seriously? You sold their property? You sold it when...
We
Not
did-
their property.
You
not
didn't
their
sell
property,
it.
Jay.
You gave the property away,
It's
Jimmy.
not
They
their
were
property.
using.
Okay.
They were
Not
using
their
for 50 years.
We're going to be cordial.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
It's not their property. You
It's
keep
the
saying
city's
that.
property, but
It's
they
the
were
city's
using
property.
it, and they were maintaining it.
Commissioners, thank you.
I'm just not going to listen to it anymore. It
I'm
was
not gonna
never.
listen to this nonsense no more neither. You're right, Jimmy. You're right.
I'm right. It
Absolutely.
wasn't their property.
It's the city's property they were using.
You're giving misinformation. You are not saying the truth when you say
They
it's
were
their-
using this property that belongs
Using
to the
it.
city that we gave away for nothing.
that they requested $400,000 to $500,000 for us to fix it. You leave that
They
out.
asked for like $27,000 to redo the courts.
You didn't
is
read
what
what
they
the
did.
ask was then.
They-
Because they said it
There was a
between-
proposal in the
I'm
budget
telling you what
for
was
a
there,
whole
Jay.
$1 million
Look
complex to spend to build
Okay.
the redo shuffleball
We've
courts,
had-
tennis courts,
we've had-
and pickleball
We've
courts.
hashed this out enough. Thank you. So, City Manager, do you need a recommendation from us?
Yes, sir. I think that's what we're looking for, maybe a poll here to see what you guys feel like as far as either going with and if you want to make a motion, that would be fine
I
too.
can't
as
make the
far as-
motion, but
Yeah, not you, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. But if somebody wanted to make a motion, like I said, I think there were 3 options here, sort of turn it over to insurance, go hybrid, or just let Stone and Gherkin roll with it.
Does it have to be done tonight?
No, I don't think there's an immediate crisis. Now, we do have some scheduling things coming up with the request for relief. The magistrate is going to be back in town on Monday. He's been gone for 2 weeks, so he'll probably be catching up for a couple of days. But we are going to start moving into scheduling with that pretty soon, so I think there's more urgency there. The other lawsuit has been filed and sent to the newspapers, but we have not been served or sent a copy. We did pull a copy off of the the docket, but our 20-day clock to answer has not started there.
Does the lawsuit interfere with conveyance of the property? It has no legal bite to. They
They're
could
trying
unwind
to
it. They
get.
couldn't stop it. They could unwind it.
They have included a claim for injunction whereby they would try to stop the sale of the property. They would need to post a bond for that, which we would be asking for. But how that ends up shaking out is unclear. But they're going to have to come out of pocket to get an injunction.
Well, they picked this fight. I think they're out of line. I think they've treated us. I think they've been very hard on us for a bunch of non-residents. And I would make a motion to let the insurance company, since we have $100,000, why should I pay for it? Let the insurance company have their lawyers have fun with them.
So we have a motion to let the insurance, and what was your recommendation? Your recommendation or Al's recommendation was the hybrid?
Yeah, I think Al had suggested the hybrid. I think that approach makes sense, but like I said, I'm flexible. I'm comfortable however you guys want to
I
go.
think our recommendation on our approach indicates, again, without talking about litigation, it indicates how we think we need to tackle that before we go the insurance route.
Okay. I'll withdraw my motion then. I don't have a strong opinion on it. I just threw it out there, and I have my reasons. But
and I
I
think-
need to be careful what I say, too. I mean, I can't say everything I want to say right now, so I'll withdraw my motion.
And I think I hope I have a reputation of being good stewards of your money. So if Grant starts getting too expensive, we'll be back to you real quick. But so again, I think the hybrid approach is best because I think handling it this way, we have our best chances to end this in the city's favor as quickly as possible.
You know I'm completely happy with you and your firm. That was not a function of you. That's a function of,
No,
enough said.
I wouldn't. Like I said, I wouldn't be doing my job. I don't think if I did not bring up the fact that you guys have coverage and the ability to move forward without paying out of pocket for legal fees. So I'm not offended at all.
All right.
So I'll make a motion that we go with Grant's hybrid recommendation, which would be that his firm will begin with it, and if the fees start getting excessive, we'll go to the insurance company.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the hybrid option. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Connell?
I'm not voting to spend any money to defend ourselves on this.
Yes,
So that's a no.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Mayor Reeseman?
Yes, and just to clarify, that's the Venice lawsuit as well, so. All right. Thank you, Grant. Is that everything?
Yes, thank you all. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I hate to revisit, but just in the spirit of full disclosure
Where
and
am I going?
transparency, there was one slide we kind of zipped through. Go to the project slide, right, that one,
Yep.
capital project. So remember, we did approve everything in the budget tonight. As kind of SOP, we always focus on the general fund more than everything else. So just super quick, and again, you got another bite at the apple on this on the 22nd. So the way it is tonight, which is changeable on the 22nd, everything in the electric fund, water fund, sewer fund, all those enterprise funds remain the same. So just with the capital projects fund, just wanted to throw out these numbers, so you've got the equipment numbers that we talked about, and then the special projects money coming from the DST. The way the priorities are set up is there's $1 million, what we're calling Palmetto Sports Complex. That is pickleball, the direction we're headed now. And then there's the 200 grand to fix the gymnasium floor. So with that, you've done a pretty,
That's a tennis court resurfacing and pickleball. Is that correct?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
And this is the same as was presented in the draft. So
Same as
we did not
presented in
change
the draft.
anything. If you go
Just
through your
wanted
book,
it-
you're going to get the
Just
same
wanted to hit
stuff.
it one more time.
Nothing,
So
yeah, nothing changed.
it's out there. Nothing's changed since the summer.
Well,
Well, it has changed,
When the
but-
Palmetto Sports Complex was first spoke about with me, you spoke, it included.
It did.
Refinishing the shuffleboard court, so it has changed some.
Yes.
Okay, and the downtown parking for the 1.5, it's in the budget, but it would come back to us
For a final vote.
before
Contracts.
before any money is spent.
Yes.
Because I think that's outrageous. I'm still real curious how many spots you're actually gonna get out of that $1.5 million.
It was 250. You had that
I
presentation.
know, but that's because you're tearing down the,
The building.
yes, exactly, so,
I think the delta was 150 spots or something
It was
like
around
that.
100 to up to low 200s.
It was
I forget.
total.
We picked up well over 100. I
You
forget
picked
the
up over
exact number.
100.
okay, so you're tearing a building down, so you're getting the lion's share of your spots by just tearing a building down.
Yes.
So, like I said, 1.5 sounds outrageous for something you could tear down and just, and get the lion's share of the spots. But I'll wait for that presentation to come in.
All right. We already did roll call, so we'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Meeting adjourned.